This episode of the Rogue Deck Builder is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 source for games and gaming accessories, and by GatheringMagic.com, the #1 source for Magic the Gathering news and articles. Hi there, this is Kevin with Gathering Magic and Roguedeckbuilder.com. Here's another match with the Black-Red discard. No, we'd not let mulligan. This is an okay hand. We have double removal, and we have a first turn Thoughtseize. You're right, that is fine. We'll definitely Thoughtseize away a threat out of his hand. And this is going to be, we're going to let him put a Madcap Skills on his guy. I'm just going to get rid of probably just the Lightning Strike at this point. No, the only thing he can cast here is the Mojic isn't that bad. He can't even cast those next turn. Lightning Strike gives him reach late game. The Xava, I don't know, we'll just get rid of the Lightning Strike. That way our Disciple can block from now. Okay, so he draws into the mountain. Of course he does. Okay. So I would have taken the Madcap Skills there but I saw he couldn't cast. I'm like, oh, it'll be a turn before he can do that. I can get rid of his card anyway, but now we're gonna take some insane amount of damage here, and he's still gonna be able to cast his Marauder the following turn. Of course he tops that mountain. All right, so let's go here. We're gonna automatically Dreadboard. At least we take care of that, and there's a great card with Pyromancer. So at least we get a 2-for-1 here. That Madcap Skills ended up doing 4 damage to us. And the Thoughtseize for a Lightning Strike wasn't the greatest either. Now I'm actually starting to question it. Again, we're going to Blood Crypt, and I'll probably just end up killing this. Or do I wait for an Xava? So it's gonna be Black-Red Aggro. This strategy is starting to get very, very popular. I've done a Black-Red Aggro myself for playing on a budget episode. Yeah, it's just gonna be Dreadboard this guy off. And Blood Crypt, and hopefully he didn't top into another land to get his Xava, because if he does, we're in horrible. Oh my god! All right, so this guy can draw. This guy keeps a 2-lander and finds exactly what he needs. Xava, now we have to draw into it, or Xava is just gonna take us out, and there's very little I can do here. I can Disciple here. If I draw land, okay, I draw my land, so at least we can Disciple here. Get rid of the last card in his hand, which, do we even know what it is? A Spike Jester, that's actually good to get rid of. And we definitely have to block that Xava and then just pray for another. Oh my, jeez, this guy can draw. This is... All right, so we got to top deck into a removal here. And I should have got rid of that Xava instead of the... But with the first turn Thoughtseize, when you see double black, you're thinking, okay, Xava is not castable for at least turn 7. And what do you know? He tops the perfect land draws. Anyway, let's go to, I'll quit being a whiner here. I'll block the Spike Jester, kill it off, go to a 2. And hopefully we draw in any sort of removal here, and we don't, so that is game. We can... Nope, that is going to be game. We get turn 5 here by Ugh. Alright, so we're going to take out we're going to bring in that removal package that I was talking about. Ultimate Prices are very, very weak, so is Doomblade in this, but the Cures are fine. And so we need to get rid of 7 cards. It's definitely going to be Slaughter Games and Rakdos' Return, and the Thoughtseizes can come out too. That takes us to 58. Doomblade, what do we have for Doomblade? Ultimate Price can actually kill the Tormented Hero, but not enough. So we'll keep in some Rakdos' Return. Well, maybe we'll keep in a Slaughter Games. I think it's actually a little more... or just Thoughtseize. I guess Thoughtseize is more powerful than any of these. And again, this is going to be a little bit of a weak of a matchup because the Doomblades and the Ultimate Prices are horrible. So that's 3 cards that we would bring in against Red Deck wins that we cannot bring in against this deck. So we'll submit this away. Yes, I'd like to play first. I don't think I can keep this hand. I'm going to mulligan it. This hand is a little better. Not really, but I think we're going to end up losing this match too. It's sad because you really know what you're going to lose versus aggro based upon your opening hand. We didn't get any of our removal. I can't mulligan this hand. I think the other one was worth mulliganing because we had cards we could not cast with the lands in our hand. Just double. See what goes down here. If he actually does, if he Thasses here, I'm actually okay with that. A Tormented Hero, of course, would be the worst, and he does have the Tormented Hero. Underworld Connection is going to be horrible for us. And now we have to hit into our land. We have to hit into our land to actually hit an Underworld Connections. And then subsequently keep dropping lands. But again, a Madcap Skills could come down here. And I'm just dead. So let's see what happens. And so much for saying that this format is slowed down. We go up against two incredibly aggressive decks right off the bat. And, alright, is what it is. So Shred Freak comes out. We're going to take 4 here. So I need a land then in Anger of the Gods. That's the only thing that's going to get me out of this. Well, there's one of them. There's the Anger of the Gods, but no land. So I hope he overextends here. Everything in his deck has haste, though. But if we top in the deck, if we top into a land, we 3-for-1 him. But at this point, I don't even think that 3-for-1, because this Shrieking Affliction is kind of like a mulligan. Don't know how I feel about this card. I mean, okay, so another Tormented Hero maybe? Gets in there for 7. Yeah, we absolutely have to draw into a land here or it's over. So I'd love to see a Cackler. All right, so if I draw into a land, this is our game. If I don't, I lose. And that is games, folks. That is sometimes how it goes. I'm dead next turn. If we would have drawn into the land there, it would have been a totally different scenario, but we didn't have a Rakdos. Wow. Oh, whoa, that is not a very good showing here. All right, so maybe I'll make a few changes. I think I'm still okay. I mean, if we had a Cure, that would completely change the outcome of this game. As being even like a Thoughtseize or a Duress at the very first would have taken out that Madcap Skills. One more land, of course, would have allowed the Anger of Gods to sweep him. So just kind of poor draws on our part. The mulligan completely killed us. Maybe I needed to mull down to 5. But against an aggro deck, I don't see how we could have won that matchup at 5 cards versus the everything in his deck has haste. He'll eventually get the Xavas. If he's running cards like Underworld Cerberus, we'd have a very hard time coming back from that. Anyway, this is Kevin from Roguedeckbuilder and GatherMatches.com. We'll go on to another matchup, but we'll get that mid-range match that I was talking about in the deck tech. Thanks for watching.